Hey guys, last time we talked about marketing and I gave 3 basic little examples, and I mentioned that I thought that when it came to Odyssey One, the issues that I had with editing originally probably helped the book rather than hurt it. And I wanted to expand a little bit on that. First, a little bit of backstory. When I released Odyssey One, it was essentially unedited. I'd done an editing pass myself, and I may have passed it off to somebody else, but it was in no way professionally edited. And there was a number of artifact issues with the manuscript that I put up on Amazon. I've since been able to trace back where those came from, and they were almost certainly due to upgrading from WordPerfect over the years to Word through various versions. Like many versions, over 20 years, because I spent a long time writing that one. That left a lot of commas in odd places, characters that were wrong, formatting problems, etc. And that meant that when I uploaded Odyssey One, it was honestly, like, I considered it unfit for human consumption. So the reason why I uploaded it is a bit of a story in that I had originally put Thermals up as the first book I wrote, or first book I published. It was the second book I wrote. And it sold okay. I made a few $100s off it in the first 3 weeks it was up, which is, quite reasonable for a first-time author. Self-publishing. You're almost certainly not going to see a huge bestseller your first time out. That's just a given. So, I was working in the fishing industry at the time, lobster on the Magdalen Islands, and that's a seasonal job. When you go in, you've got no time for anything else. For those 10 weeks that you're working in that season, that's it. That's all you do. And I let my readers know at the time that, hey guys, I'm going to be gone. They were familiar with this because it was every year. And a few of them said, well, do you have anything that you could share in the meantime so we could have something to read while you're working until you get back? And I was like, well, I've got this one book that I've had for a while, but it's really not ready. And they're like, well, could you put it up anyway? We understand. We'll deal with the fact that it's not edited properly. And I'm like, okay. I put together a cover real quick, and I said, I slapped it up there, I put a little warning for people, and I said, yeah, have at it. I figured, maybe my 200 or 300 readers were going to see it, and that was about it. I'd make a few $100s again. 3 weeks later, I poked my head up from the season, and I made 20 grand. It's like, oh shit. My reaction was a combination between, yes, and oh, fuck, this is what I'm going to be known for. And the rest is history. But an interesting aspect of the Odyssey release is that in the reviews on Amazon, and you can still go back and you can find these reviews, the readers were actually fighting each other. They were arguing in the reviews over whether or not it was a good book. Okay? Some were vehemently hated it. Others were like, this is one of the best books I've ever written. I tend to fall more with the hated crowd, personally. Like, I didn't hate it, but I understand where they were coming for more than the best book people. But, that's going to be another lesson we're going to have a talk about later on. Your expectations as an author will differ from what your readers actually experience. And that's fine. But the fact that the readers cared enough about the book to actually fight in the comments was probably one of the things that was driving sales. And that's going to bring me to a discussion I want to have with you guys about developing your community. Okay? Interacting with your readers, chatting with them, creating an idea where they can actually talk to you, share concepts, just chat about whatever it takes in order to maintain that sense of community, because that sense of community is what is going to keep your core audience looking for every book you release. And I cannot stress enough how important that is. Your core audience is your lifeblood. They're the ones who push your books up the charts high enough that the casual readers will find it. Now, the casual readers are where your money comes from. Your core audience, they're going to give you a few $100 to a few $1,000. Sweet, that's great. But their real contribution is getting your book up the charts to where the casual readers, and your casual readers are going to outnumber your core readers 100 to 1. But they're not going to be looking for your books every single time. Whereas your core readers are going to be the ones who are on your mailing list. They're going to be the ones who are monitoring your social media. They are the ones who push the book, the sales of the book. The casual readers, they're the ones who actually bring in the money. Don't ignore either of them, but understand that without your core readers, your casual readers will never see your book. But without your casual readers, you're not going to be able to afford to do this. And we'll talk more about developing your audience and how important that is in a future video, of course. I don't want to talk too long on these, so I'm going to call that the end for this one. If you like what you're hearing or you want to hear more, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever. Thanks for watching the whole video. Stay safe, guys, and yeah, let's keep writing novels. Cheers.